Yeah, you just hold tight for a little bit, and we will give you a nice big fat introduction.
Maybe you should give me like a couple questions to answer so people know a little bit about me.
Oh, okay. We can definitely do a hi. My name is Nicholas Lurch, and it's been 3 years since I played World of Warcraft. Kind of one of those things. I'm 3 years sober. It's that type of stuff.
And you have a problem.
Yeah, a serious problem. Yeah, we can.
Also,
definitely...
hey, we're live, by the way.
Are we already live?
No, we're not.
We're doing this thing live.
All right. Well,
is there swearing on this show?
I don't know.
Fuck
Nick, have you been?
No.
Have you been listening? Actually, have you?
Yeah,
have you
Nick.
ever
Obviously,
listened?
that you just proved that you have never listened to one of these podcasts before.
That is a complete lie. I listened to the Mermaid podcast this morning, and that was embarrassing.
And you should know there was a lot of swearing in that podcast about those fucking mermaids.
Okay. Wait a minute. Now, why would you say that was embarrassing, Nick? I mean, I turned it off halfway through, and then the next morning, you were so excited about it, you wanted to finish it with Chris. Like you told, you were just talking it up, like saying like how awesome it was.
That is completely not true. I was sleeping, very much asleep, and you just happened to stumble upon the remote controller, and the Mermaid Show was on.
And the Mermaid Show was on. Oh, okay.
I'm glad we're getting to the bottom of this.
I will say though, Nick, that one chick in the Mermaid Show, the poster chick, poof, yeah, top notch.
Oh yeah, all the butter and biscuits.
Welcome to week 2 of Fantasy Football Podcast. Usual suspects, Cali football.
Hike. Let's go. All right. So obviously, as everybody can tell, we have a special guest here with us today. He is the league manager of a Wild Weddle appeared this year. Nicholas Lurch. Welcome. Welcome. It's good to have you. Good to have you on. How are you feeling today?
Feeling good. Thank you guys for having me on. I'm pleased to be here. I do feel like a celebrity now that I'm on this show. I can't believe I made it on this show.
First time caller, long time listener.
That is definitely true. I've listened.
Actually, technically, he called once. He did call. We were like in the
that's
middle.
True. That's true. Last year
we were like in the middle, and you were. Yeah. I can't remember what you were lost or something like that. You couldn't find your car.
Yep,
that's what happens
remember
in San Diego.
Yeah, you lose your car all the time,
dude.
Well, Nick, what happens when your team loses its way first week of football?
Oh, come on, we're gonna get into like some cheap shots already. This was kind of a brutal week of football for some people. I mean, maybe a good week for others, but I know I definitely had a tough first day of football. I think Joey feels my pain. We've all heard about it from Joey about how sad he was that Keenan Allen went down. I'm sad that Keenan Allen went down because, well, everybody knows I'm a diehard Charger fan, and that fucking that is just a heartbreaker. But for you, Sean, it didn't go so bad. It was actually the best week for everybody. You had the highest score this whole fucking week, and it was against you, Nick. That should be a first question, Nick. How do you feel after getting your ass kicked by Sean, who had the highest score out of everybody this week?
You know what, Brian? I feel a little angry. I feel a little sad. I'm a little mad, not just at Sean, but at the whole Raider organization as a whole. I'm mad at all the fans that like them for putting this 40 burger on me and then still winning the game. So what's up with that?
No, okay. So here's the thing, Nick. Even still, you had one of the highest scores. You were definitely in the top 5 as far as highest scores. Yeah, you would have beaten a lot of other teams. Definitely would have beaten me if you had gone up against me. But you didn't really have it wasn't a bad game by any means. I don't know. Blake Bortles, I guess, even in a super high scoring game, didn't really get you what you wanted. Drew Brees going absolutely apeshit on you.
4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I gotta say a little PSA on Drew Brees. I never pick quarterbacks, very early on, and I was a little nervous about doing that now. But shit, after Drew Brees dropping 41, I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Jesus, I mean, but dude,
Yeah.
Like not only that, but the Carlos Hyde getting fucking 21. Like who the fuck saw that coming?
I didn't see that coming. Yeah, that Monday night game was a shock to put a old-fashioned whooping on the newly LA Rams. That was crazy.
I mean, and not only that, but the Philly game, like the Jordan Matthews, like I don't know if anybody saw Carson Wentz being as good as he was for that first game, but he really fucking turned it on. And
yeah, he looks good. Philly offense is looking pretty nice. I mean, I'm surprised, like, high scorer of our league for the week at 145 with dropping a goose egg for the tight end position still.
I don't want to talk about the tight end position, and we're going to get to that.
That's actually that's something that is definitely a thing that's going on in the league right now. The tight end position is definitely there's few and far between of good tight ends out there right now. It's a tough position. But Nick, your tight end put up a pretty nice game with Julius Thomas. That your new love of Jacksonville is coming in handy there.
Yeah, I was hoping for that. That was my plan going into the draft, and that one touchdown got me too. So I enjoyed that one.
That's true. You get little double points. Yeah.
Yeah, double points.
I wanted to ask you about the first game of the season, the Thursday game, watching Kelvin Benjamin, because Kelvin Benjamin was fucking tearing it up. How did you feel about that?
Oh, I felt great. I have him in both my leagues. Every time he catches the ball, I drink a sip of my beer, and I just feel a little bit better too. So that Thursday night was a good start. I hope to see a lot more targets going into this next game from Kelvin Benjamin, or to Kelvin Benjamin. So yeah, I'm feeling good.
That's not. I mean, Jesus. Yeah, no, he was doing really great. Odell kind of had a relatively quiet showing for that game. I mean, there was who was the receiver that ended up getting that juice?
Cruz got some juice.
Yeah, Cruz. I saw. Oh, and Sterling Shepard. That's right. And
that's right.
Yeah.
Larry Donnell.
And Larry Donnell, that he always gets those TDs.
Yeah, those silly.
He's an end zone target.
Giant guy. But I mean, Jesus, like you're not doing, you're not really in bad shape at all. I mean, you got 31 points on your bench with Matt Stafford. You got a really good option if you ever wanted to switch up from Blake Bortles. Man, and not only that, Amir Abdullah fucking crushed it. Almost 20 points.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Those guys are both coming in for the next matchup, so hopefully they bring the fire again. I would like that, instead of sitting on my pine playing Connect 4 or whatever.
Well, that's okay. So who do you have coming up in your next matchup? Okay, you got Jimmy coming up in your next matchup, and that's going to be a
Jimmy put up some good points last week too. He was the one that took out the reigning champion.
All right, well, let's take a look at
You got to applaud that. It's always nice to take out the reigning champion.
Yeah, it's a good way to start the season right there. And I know Jimmy and Joey are pretty good friends, so I'm sure Jimmy's feeling pretty good about that little stomp down.
Well, I mean, Joey's got to feel good about David Johnson. I mean, David Johnson looked really good.
Really good. Going to be scoring really a lot of points that game. This season.
He probably will. He almost had 100 yards, but he had one on the ground. How many receptions did he have? 4 for 43. It's not too bad. That's gonna help out a lot. And Moncrief. Joey loves his fucking Moncrief.
Can't get
no,
it.
It's Mom. I think it's Momqueef, Brian.
It is Moncrief. It's actually how it's pronounced. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. There we go. You guys got me. And then he gets 17 from Dan Bailey, which is insane. But he's got to try to put up a fight somehow.
Right there.
Yep, with 17 from your kicker. But no, Jimmy just came through. I mean, AJ Green does he does. Almost 200 yards and the touchdown, 12 receptions. Like that is
that's insane.
That is insane. Amari Cooper had himself a really awesome game.
Huge yardage. I mean, if
yeah.
Amari gets in the end zone, obviously even bigger, but 137 yards, monster.
How about let's talk about kind of a surprise. How about DeMarco Murray? Like he didn't do that great on the ground, but he had 5 receptions for 35 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like that's
surprising.
He had a killer front flip. Did you see that?
Yes, I did see that.
See that front flip.
That should be an extra 2 points.
That should be Jimmy's. Actually, I like his crying Jordan face
on Russell.
For his Russell Wilson picture.
Yeah,
I like that.
That is pretty funny.
So Jimmy,
Russell did not.
Yeah, Russell had a little bit of an injury going.
Yeah, he had a pick, a fumble, only 1 touchdown. Threw for 250 yards.
Hobbling around.
Yeah, he's injured. He has a sprained ankle or something.
Yeah, something like that.
It still says he's going to be playing.
Yeah, he's going to play through it, but his wheels are hurting.
He's a running quarterback, so that could have a little detriment to it.
Well, I know he's starting Big Fatty Burger for next week, so.
Yep, and that's actually that's what it's looking like. So you are starting Matt Stafford. It looks like, at least right now.
Yep.
Well, and you are projected to win by at least 11 points. It's pretty interesting. It looks like he's going to be rolling with Alan Hearns actually in his flex, and you're putting in Amir Abdullah. Ooh, it's going to be. This is going to be interesting. Sean, do you want to do a quick pick'em on this?
Yeah, I was
Nick?
about to say the same thing. We should do a little pick'em here. I mean, Nick, obviously, I think you would pick yourself, so maybe you want to sit out on that.
I don't think he gets to participate because even though it's fun to have guests on, this is your and my show, and we're going to be doing this the whole season. Nick's only going to be here for this episode. Maybe if he continues to be a good guest, he'll get on for others, right, Nick?
At the same time, I would be curious to see what Nick thinks about all these matchups, too.
Well, okay. No, we'll get his opinion on the matchups, but we'll just make sure that we keep a record of yours and mine, Sean, throughout the season so we can see who is more worthy of the expert status title. Which
you guys should record these, keep a log of these at the end of the year,
Oh, yeah, we will be.
Okay.
We will be, for sure.
We technically are recording, I guess, right now.
My God, I forgot to push record.
Taking a look at this, I don't see Dez Bryant having a big game. I think even though they're playing Washington, I think Dak Shepard is still gonna not really be all that great. They're gonna still kind of be a mess. He's starting Dez and Jason Witten, which I don't really like. Alan Hearns, I'm not too sure about. I have to say, Nick, you should be afraid of A.J. Green and Amari Cooper. Those guys could fucking put up some big numbers. And Ben Roethlisberger definitely could put up some points. But I would say I'm going to go ahead and give Nick the nod in this one. Just kind of looking at it, I really like Matt Stafford, especially against Tennessee. Odell should be much better in a matchup against New Orleans where they're going to be throwing it probably all the time. So yeah, I'm going to say I'm going to give the nod to Nick this time around.
All right,
thank you.
Fair, taking Nick. I kind of have to agree. I got to go the same direction. I do like Jimmy's team in general, but looking at the matchups this week,
like his team.
I mean, Roethlisberger lit it up, A.J. Green lit it up, but you've got a pretty big matchup here with Pittsburgh versus Cincinnati, and I feel like when those two teams match up, it tends to be a little bit more on the low-scoring side. Like the matchups are really heated, and the defenses, make some big plays. So I wouldn't imagine that A.J. and Roethlisberger are going to light it up as much as they did last week. And Nick's got some good matchups like Stafford at Tennessee versus Tennessee. Oh yeah, Odell Beckham should just Swiss cheese the New Orleans defense. I think Kelvin Benjamin can do some damage versus SF, and SD defense is not really, sorry, Brian, not too much to speak of there. I see Julius Thomas having a nice game. So I think definitely based on the matchups.
Julius Thomas ain't going to do nothing. I'm not worried about San Diego defense at all. No, it's going to be – no, I. So are you taking Nick as well?
So I'm taking Nick on that one for this week.
Okay. Well, that's no worries. So we've got 2 votes for Nick. I'm gonna guess, Nick, you're probably gonna vote for yourself
guys.
as well.
That's what happens. You come on as a guest of the show, and everybody starts picking your team, is all nice to you. It's just it's a good time.
Do you have any thoughts about your upcoming matchup against Jimmy, or do you want to? Should we move on?
You want to say a message? You want to say a message to Jimmy?
Yeah, I do. Jimmy, I'm coming for you. The Wild Weedle Weddle.
Be afraid, Jimmy. Be very afraid.
Yeah, I would be.
All right, Brian. Man. Well, we could move on to Brian. We can move on to your team here, and you're playing Phil this week. And
do we really have to? Do we have to move on to my team? I mean,
I think we need to. I think, for lack of a better word, we need to address your team.
Yeah, these fucking guys. These fucking.
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, is your team name like really starting to ring true right now?
It's funny. I told Chris this, and I'm hoping this is going to be the way it plays out. Is that if anybody saw the movie, like as it goes on. The fans keep going these guys don't look they don't look too fucking good, and then they start to get a little bit better and they're like, you know what, these guys ain't so fucking bad, and hopefully by the end of it my team's going to be going in the playoffs, and I'm going to be able to put up a gif of the 2 groundskeepers guys who keep saying they're shitty. They're going to be like cheering like go Cleveland. No. Right now, my team did not get off to a terribly hot start, and I don't know if it's terribly surprising. There weren't really the greatest matchups. I wasn't really sold on Tyrod Taylor, but I thought it might be interesting to see how he goes throughout the year. He had an interesting stretch last year before he went down.
Yeah, he had. I mean, he last year, looked like a guy who could have a lot of potential, and definitely looked like shit last week. Yeah. And I see you're rolling. You're not taking any more chances right now, at least with Tyrod Taylor. You've quickly made the swap and put in Fitzpatrick. So maybe has a bigger floor as far as points there. Maybe not as high of a ceiling potentially, but at least he's not going to be the lowest scoring quarterback of the week at the same time.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty bad game because it wasn't just Tyrod Taylor, but dude, my tight end position. You were talking about getting the highest score and getting a goose egg. Well, I got the lowest score, and I almost got a goose egg with Colby Fleener.
Man, what I wouldn't have killed for 0.5. No, but seriously, that's surprising from him.
No, well, and I would say the more surprising thing is the fact that this was a 34-35 game, right?
Yeah, and
Drew Brees is going apeshit. Yeah. And he gets like 1 reception. I don't even know how many targets he got. He might have only gotten 1 target, but like that's really worrisome for me. So
the whole thing with Colby Fleener was what I was hearing is that he's new to the Saints system, obviously coming from Indianapolis last year, and I guess in the preseason he was having some issues like trying to get on the same page with Drew Brees. Like they just haven't really hit that connection yet. So I don't know. It could be one thing where a few weeks down the line, like maybe they start really hooking up for some points. So I mean, potential's still out there for him with Drew Brees as the quarterback.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. He's got a decent quarterback, and he's a pretty decent talent. He put up some points with Andrew Luck, so if he gets it in rhythm, he could do good. But Jesus, it's not something I can roll out and be confident with.
Brian, how could you be confident with when you click on his picture and you look at him? I mean, he doesn't look very confident.
Let me look at his picture. Oh, dude, look at that smile. Look how, dude, that is a smile of a confident man who is just really, yeah, it's pretty
Something
disturbing.
about that picture makes me think of like John Glasgow, just like making the cheesiest, stupid-looking face he could possibly make.
You know what? I can see that. It kind of reminds me too. I have to agree.
John, if you're listening, go look at Kobe Fleener's picture on ESPN right now, and that's you.
That's what they think.
That's you
That's
at
you,
Sausage
man.
Fest. Sausage Fest.
It's
Sausage Fest.
That's gonna be a good one. But
So as far as your matchup this week, I gotta say I'm looking through Phil's team and looking at what happened last week. Somehow Phil still managed to score 113 points, and looking at his team, like most people like didn't even get into double digits. Like he had a lot of very disappointing performances with Todd Gurley, less than 5 points, Devontae Freeman 6 points, like his defense got 1, Kirk Cousins got 9. Like, I mean, I think Phil's team should be a lot better than what they showed last week, but at the same time, he also had Brandon Cooks, who got 31 points. Like, I don't think that's very sustainable either.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I mean, even just looking at the projected total, just right now, it's like just a 1 point difference. Even though it's giving it to me, I think I don't know. Phil and I funny enough, Phil is the one person in the league that I've never actually met. So Phil, you know, hats to you, man. I've always considered you my fucking fantasy nemesis because you always play me tough, and most of the time you end up kind of kicking my ass. And Jesus, your team names are just always more fucking clever than I can even think. And it's just like, God damn it, that fucking guy.
I think
from what I hear,
Phil,
he's like the nicest guy too, and that's awesome. So
I think what it is if Phil has never met you, you guys have never met before, and Phil like is your nemesis. He always beats you in fantasy for some reason. I think whenever it is that you guys finally do meet, like all of a sudden you'll just start beating him. And, like, he knows that. And so he's like, I'm never going to meet Brian. Like, I'm never going to meet that guy. So
we all have to.
I don't expect that you'll ever meet him.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. We all have to have some sort of advantage over everybody else. And, you know, if Phil's found his, then, yeah, you should keep it. But I think it's going to be a close game. I am hoping for the best. I'm hoping from a big game from Ezekiel Elliott. I don't know when Keenan Allen was going with the Chargers against Kansas City. Melvin Gordon was looking really, really good. You know, he got those 2 touchdowns like really early, but they couldn't stop him. So I'm wondering if they can't cover DeAndre Hopkins, then Lamar Miller might end up having a really big game. So I don't know. I'm gonna root for myself, but I might end up regretting it and getting it wrong because Phil does always play me so good. But I'm gonna go ahead and vote for myself on this one.
Yeah,
I didn't know you could do that, but okay.
Of course I
What do you
can.
think, Nick?
I don't know. I do agree with you, Sean. I think Phil's team is going to come back in full force here with Todd Gurley especially. But it looks pretty close. Brian's got Lamar and Ezekiel. So I don't know. I think it's going to be quite a toss-up. I think the Thursday game for Brian is going to decide a lot with the quarterback, actually.
That will decide a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he'll know which quarterback he should have chosen for that one game for the Thursday night.
Well, hey,
both of them.
You know what? If Tyrod Taylor, if he proves himself and he outscores Ryan Fitzpatrick, then you know I won't be as upset about that 5-point game. But if he has another kind of a turd, then dude, he's welcome to Dumpsville, and I need to go find myself somebody else. Like, you know, there's all kinds of pretty good quarterbacks out there. Like Matt Ryan, I think, is still out there. There are a couple other guys who had high scores this last week that are out there. Fuck, you know, if you wanted, you could even argue that maybe Jimmy Garoppolo could be somebody you could pick on up because he had like 18 or 19 points. He didn't look so bad. So Marcus Mariota had a pretty decent game too. So it's funny, like there's all kinds of quarterbacks out there. You're right. I am going to know which quarterback I am going to be going down the stretch with. when that game's over. So you're right. That's going to determine a lot.
I think so, because you have Decker there going, so that one game is going to decide the outcome, I think, in my opinion. And I don't know. I think I can see a lot of touchdowns in Phil's close future. So, sorry, Brian, I'm going to have to take Ripley's cat.
All right. Well, I see how it is, Nick. This will be the one time that you are allowed on as guest on the show.
That's what I thought.
Well, yeah, I've been kind of going back and forth, and I definitely agree. I could really see this being a close matchup. Like, could easily go either way. I just do feel like that Phil's team has a lot of upside here, even from where he ended up last week. I can't imagine that Todd Gurley is going to have another 6-point game. And, he's not playing Kirk Cousins. He's playing Carson Palmer this week, so I could see some additional points there, too.
That's true.
Yeah. I think I might have to give the slight edge to Phil. And I think, honestly, you know what? Brian, one of my best friends, always painful to say I'm going against you. But historically, Phil has had your number. So, if I'm a betting man, we're doing a Pick'em here. This isn't about picking friends. This is about picking winners. And historically, Phil has been the winner when it comes to your guys' matchups.
Well, I'm going to remember this day, my friend. I'm going to remember this fucking day, you bastards. No, that's all right. I do think it's going to be a really close game. I do agree. Carson Palmer is a lot better start than Kirk Cousins, I think, especially against Tampa Bay. So that's going to be a pretty scary game. I don't agree with you guys, though, on Todd Gurley. He's going up against fucking Seattle. That's not going to be an easy game.
True,
I think he's going to be good down the stretch.
One touchdown, and he'll have more than last week.
That's true. I mean, all Colby Fleener needs to do is get like 10 yards. He'll have more than he had last week, which is what I'm hoping for. But no, I absolutely respect your guys' opinion, but go fuck yourselves. That's no, that's
respect your opinion,
cool.
but fuck you. I hate your opinion.
Yeah, no, exactly. I hate all your opinions, but I would say that's a good way to go. So we've got 2 votes against me for Sean and Nick.
Sorry, dude.
It's okay. I'm not going to be heartbroken about this, but I'm never going to do this podcast again.
I mean, the thing is, like, we're not trying to win friends right now. Like, we're already friends, so it's like no advantage for picking Brian here.
No, there is none. No, not at all.
No.
But we'll see how the future what the future has to hold. Probably won't be too great for me, but that's why my team is appropriately named. Who these fucking guys?
Did you make your picture or did you find that?
No, I had to make it, actually.
That's what I thought. You should get an extra point for that.
I know it's pretty well done. And Nick, I was going to ask you. Last podcast, I was wondering where the hell did you find your picture?
I found it deep on some Ravens subreddit.
Yes,
no, that is what you said. That's what Sean said. Where did you actually find it? Deep on some Ravens subreddit.
Okay, the Pokemon subreddit, Pokemon Go.
There's just so many layers to that. I mean, you've got Weddle, you've
I know,
got
I love
Ravens, you've got Pokemon. Like, there's so many layers there. I can't wrap my head around how it all came to be. I just think it fits
me so well.
It's okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who is this person that created like the perfect thing for you?
Maybe he's the un-Nick Legit. He's like the reverse Flash, only the reverse Nick Legit.
What would the reverse Nick Legit be named?
Probably
Lick Legit.
Yeah, Lick a Nick.
Lick a Nick. I think he would be.
That's a good segue.
We are getting totally sidetracked. Okay. But speaking about my team and my last matchup, I did not do so well. I did have the lowest score out of everybody, 80 points. John squarely beat me by like 29 points. We kind of skirted by the matchup and didn't really talk about his team all that much. He had a pretty good showing, but that technically, if I'm looking at this right, that was the second lowest score. So he should be thanking me.
Well, it's interesting because now we've got the half-point PPR. So already week 1, we saw a lot higher scores. I mean, Ryan, not your team, but
no, not on my team.
I mean, when 109 points is like the second lowest score, I think that goes to show that PPR is definitely a huge change.
Well, we added another spot too.
That's
like
true. Actually, you're right.
Position.
That's true.
So that's like
huge.
another 20, 30 points for a person.
That is true.
I don't think we'll be seeing like, some of the 60-point like super low weeks that we've seen in the past.
Not anymore.
Oh man, dude, looking at John's bench, John had 82 points on his bench.
Holy shit, yeah.
Larry Fitz. Oh man, Danny Woodhead, Willie Snead.
Yeah, Snead, monster game.
172 yards and a touchdown. 9 receptions. Can we talk about that for just a second? I'd like to protest that. I saw Willie Snead. I watched the replay, okay, and I saw Willie Snead catch this long fucking pass, and then he bobbled it, he fumbled it, and he fumbled it another 10 yards, and some other fool got it. So he must have got all those yards. I don't understand that. What happened there?
Willie Snead, there was one play where they were on the 5-yard line.
He got the
95-yard touchdown pass.
No, didn't Cooks get that?
Was it Cooks?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
Well, I mean.
No, I think
Breeze threw for 420 something yards, so like. Those points were pretty spread between Snead and Cooks.
Nick's right. It was Brandon Cooks.
Oh, okay. It was Cooks.
Yeah, Cooks got that. Willie Snead did some of that Denard Jackson shit where he fucking dropped the ball like 10 or 20 yards, got some points. I wouldn't be surprised if they take away that W.
Take away that W.
Jesus, but 172 yards. That's fucking insane. Larry Fitz had 2 touchdowns, almost 100 yards, 8 receptions. Jesus Christ. Wow. We'll
see what I'm curious to see what John does this week. So I'm playing John this week, and he's got some options as far as swapping some people out. So
you were playing John this week?
I am, and I'm actually looking to see if he's made any changes. So far, his team is identical to last week. So I wonder if he's gonna put any of those bench spots in, any of those points that he left on the bench there.
I don't know, man, dude. Your team came out and fucking fired on all cylinders. I don't think he's doing anything. I don't know. Who would he put in? He could put in. Well, Larry Fitzgerald is questionable.
He's got Marvin Jones as a flex. I mean, could potentially. I mean, flex is always a position where you have some options there, so that might be something. But I don't know. Maybe he'll get creative. Not really sure.
Yeah, I don't know what his team is predicted to. What his actual team is predicted to do on the bench, but right now ESPN is giving you the nod, Sean, with Drew Brees beating out Derek Carr, which, I mean, Derek Carr had a pretty decent game last week, 23 points, but Jesus, Drew Brees, 4 touchdowns, 423 yards. Like, you've got to feel pretty good about
Drew Brees, when he's in his dome at home, he tends to throw up some big points. So he's going to New York, so probably, I'm not expecting a 40-point game again, but, I'm definitely expecting at least somewhere in the 20s.
Now, are you going to be rolling with Gary Barnidge again?
Absolutely, especially with RG3 going down and Josh McCown coming back in as quarterback. Like, that was the connection that they had last year that enabled Barnidge to be that, number 2 tight end. And Nick, you know all about that. You had Barnidge last year, didn't you?
Oh yeah, Barn Dog killed it for me last year. He was great.
Yeah, and Josh McCown was the guy who was throwing dimes to him.
Yeah, good old King McCown.
McCown, as it was known.
It does look like John put in Dwayne Allen, who I don't think he had last week. I think he picked him up off the waiver wire.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
He dumped somebody.
Who
There you go, Sean. Be very afraid.
Yeah, he dropped Martellus Bennett. So, yeah, I mean, if Gronk's coming back this week, it makes sense to drop Martellus Bennett.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I mean, I think John put together a pretty good squad, and I'm definitely, I'm not like supremely confident that just because I was the high scorer last year that, I'll just walk over John right now. I think I think it could be a pretty close one here.
Yeah. I mean, unless John does something miraculous with his flex position, I mean, he's definitely pretty strong in the wideouts. Alshon Jeffrey and Julio Jones, like those are pretty good going up against DeAndre, Jordy, and I don't know. Is Demarius playing?
He's got a hip injury, and he practiced today. So, you got to think he's looking like he'll play, but will he be anywhere near 100%? I'm not really sure. So, if it's last week, he didn't really do very much, but that was also against Carolina.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see if Jordan Matthews continues his amazing streak like he started with.
And how he ended the season last year, too. He ended the season like the last 6 weeks. He was crushing it.
That's right. Well, so I don't know. I think right now, unless there's some sort of drastic change with John's team, which I don't think is going to happen, I think I'm going to give you the nod, Sean. I think it just
even after I went against your team.
Well, you got to go, like you said, you're not picking friends. You got to go with what the paper says. And right now the paper is just telling me that Drew Brees is kind of on fire. He's going to be out for blood because, he wanted that big contract. They only gave him a year extension, and he wants it all. I don't know. I think it's going to be a pretty good game, unless, of course, I would say John puts in like Larry Fitz or one of those other, like, who knows? He might put in Willie Snead, and then
he's got my quarterback throwing to his receiver.
Exactly, which could be stealing some points from you. So
John,
who knows?
We're not gonna send John this recording. I don't want to give him any ideas.
No, he's the one person that doesn't get the text message. But no, that's I think that's fair. I'm going to go ahead and give the nod to Sean. What about you, Nick? What do you think?
Well, looking at the paper, all I see is crap. But I think John's got the biggest turd, so I'm going to go with you, Sean.
Oh, wow. Love having the smaller turd.
The smaller turd wins the nugget race.
Really dope guac.
So, yes.
Dude, that's words to live by. I can't even repeat them.
If you really want some analysis here, I think I do like Drew. I do like Drew Brees against the Giants, so that's good. Matt Forte's been strong. Same with Carlos Hyde. I'm worried about Thomas, though.
Mm-hmm.
Hopkins will get it done, and Jordy and Jordan. So I'm feeling really confident about your lineup. Derek Carr against Atlanta. I like that because Atlanta is a nice cush play. Dougie against Arizona. A little worried. I'm a little worried about Fatburger Eddie. And Latavius Murray. I think he'll get it done also. Julio against Oakland. Confident there, although he is questionable. So that's a little worrisome. But Alshon, how did he do? He did pretty good. He got 100 yards last game.
Yeah.
So that's a strong play, but I think you've got all the flashy players, Sean, so I'm going to take a couple big games from some of your players, and they'll get it done.
Should I change my team name to the smaller turd?
That you already have a turd on your picture, so I think you are good there.
All right, and yeah, I'm obviously taking my own team too, so I think that seals up the choices, the Pickems there.
Yeah,
I hate to do this. I fucking hate to do this. I do have to go right now. I'm not going to be able to make it through the other matchups here. And I feel
wait.
terrible about that. But what I want to do to make up for that is when we do the podcast next week, I'll definitely have a lot more time, and we can definitely spend more time on some of the matchups and people that we didn't really get to talk about.
All right, so who are we not talking about right now? Just so we can call them out.
Yeah, so calling out. We have it. I owe
apology.
I owe personal
apology.
No, not personal. I owe.
Yeah, no. A personal apology to Misha Vargas. I would say
Misha Vargas, Mr. Chris Stage, who I had the pleasure of getting to see again in SF on Monday at the Giants Stadium. Nice to see you, buddy.
That's right. You guys all, you and Nick and Joey, right?
Joey.
You guys all.
Yeah, so
that's right.
Joey, another person.
That's that. Well, that's right. We talked a little bit about Joey, but
a little bit about Joey. Did not talk anything about Derek's either. So we got to spend some time with Misha, Chris, Derek, and Joey, whatever. Maybe
Yeah, I guess talk about Jimmy. Also, I don't think we talked about his upcoming matchup.
Yeah, I haven't talked about Jimmy too much. Well, we talked about his and did the pick him on his.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. He's playing Nick. That's right. Okay, so we did pick that game. We picked your game with John, and we picked my game with Phil. So we have two other games that we need to preview: Misha and Chris's, and Derek's and
Derek and Joey's.
Yeah.
So next podcast we'll do extra time with those guys so that everybody gets a little taste of the wrath of the podcast.
Yeah, the wrath of the podcast. Yeah, that's true. I've definitely felt some wrath this fucking weekend, and hope to be dishing it out myself. But we'll see what happens. Doesn't sound like it to you guys, according to you guys. But
nope, because I like Jacksonville.
Big Jacksonville fan.
Yeah, big fucking Jacksonville fan. Fuck the Ravens. All about the fucking Jags.
Whoa! Now you're going too far.
Now that's wait! You stepped across the line there, my friend. All right. Well.
Well, we got week 2 starting tomorrow, so we'll have some big things to talk about pretty soon. Nick, love that you were the first guest on the podcast, and definitely want to do some more guest action. Obviously, pretty easy to get people involved, so let's keep these things going. It adds a nice extra flavor to these podcasts.
Yeah, absolutely. So keep us fresh in your mind, guys. We are going to be going strong. Nick, you are coming down to SD this weekend.
Yeah, I'll be able to see the Jacksonville and the Chargers firsthand.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one, dude. It's gonna be a fun time having you on out, Sean. I hope to see you